Hi, everyone. It's Kelly Scott Reed from A Word with Kelly Scott Reed. We are here today with Arden Hunter. Hi, Arden.
Hi, so nice to be here today. Thank you, thank you. I'm very excited.
I'm excited as well. Could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes, I'm Arden Hunter. I live in Jakarta at the moment, but I'm originally from the UK. So I'm over here. I work in education at a non-profit, helping to improve education for low-income Indonesian families. So that's what I do with my sort of day job. And then yeah, I have this whole other whole other creative life, writing poetry and visual poems and any kind of artistic stuff that occurs to me, really.
Yes, I think we talked about on I think was it the book club where we were talking about Katie's website, and we were actually talking about one of your pieces. So we really loved it.
Oh, thank
Also, I
you.
wanted
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. We're a delay. I apologize. I'll make sure I delay a little bit because we have a little bit of a delay. Um, Congratulations on Pull Yourself Together as well. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Oh, thank you. Yes, I have a copy right here. Um, Yeah, I didn't even have it here, like getting ready to talk to you. I just have it near me to sort of pet occasionally to be like, oh, this really happened. Look at that. So yes, Pull Yourself Together is a poetry collection I just had published through Alien Buddha Press. So yeah, if anybody has seen any of my previous work, this is like more poetry yeah, to differentiate it from some of my like visual poetry, audio, strange experimental stuff. This is more if you're like a classical poetry reader, you might like this. So yeah, it's called Pull Yourself Together because a lot of the poems are about sort of feeling fragmented, feeling um like maybe you're not like a part of a society or a part of a specific group or something like that. So it's sort of saying that's okay. It's okay to be different. It's okay to maybe not even belong once in a while. So just pull yourself together and it will be fine.
It's a great title.
Thank you.
Um, so, name a time or an experience where you realized that language had power.
You know, when I was younger, I struggled with language a lot, in general. Like I'm neurodivergent, so a lot of things that seem very obvious to other people do not seem obvious to me. So, for example, if somebody asks a question, I'm normally going to answer it. I'm answering the question, right? So, an example would be, um, is there any milk in the fridge? And I'll say no. And to me, I'm like, okay, conversation over. But what they were actually asking was, we're running out of milk. You need to go to the shop and buy some, right? So I'm always just kind of like confused. Like I've got obviously better at understanding these things as I get older, but it's not because I understand, it's because I've just had a lot of exposure to it. But anyway, so even as a youngster, I sort of realized language does have power, but not to me. It wasn't something I understood how to use for a very long time. It used to just feel like something that was, again, this thing separating me from other people. But then when I got into reading more and like this whole wonderful world of fiction and poetry opened up to me, thankfully, because of my parents were very supportive in getting me to read. Then I saw this whole other side of it that like, oh, you can do fun things with this really confusing aspects of life as well. Okay, good. Yeah.
That's incredible. Thank you. What is your writing kryptonite?
I was talking to a few of my writer friends about this recently because a few of us have all seemed to go on this slump right now at the same time. And we kind of narrowed it down, and they were sort of saying, "Oh, I feel like I just don't trust what I'm writing anymore." And I was like, "Nope, that's not it." And because usually once I've written something and I think it's finished and it's ready, I'm pretty like confident in it just because I don't know, just because. And I figured out mine was a bit strange. I think it's success, which is not does not possibly bode well for the future. Yeah, it's like I wanted to get stuff published and I did, and I wanted to get a chapbook published and I did, and part of my brain seems to have gone like, oh, okay, check, like yes. But thankfully, I think now that I've realized that was literally just yesterday, and today I wrote a poem, I sent in a submission packet somewhere, something I haven't done for a whole month. So yeah, it's something about like having these goals that seem unattainable. It's like it's something that you can keep striving for, but then when you hit that goal, it's like, well, what do I do now? So
well, you could do what I would like should be done for me. I'm similar. When I do something easily, first of all, if I do something easily, I have no interest in it. It's like I have to struggle. But you could mail yourself little rejections every once in a while to keep you thinking you're unsuccessful.
I like that. I really like that, actually. Yeah, like you could have like postcards.
Oh no, I'm not that great. Yeah.
No, I mean, I do. I get plenty of rejections. Sometimes I worry. Well, I try and be like my social media self. I try and like balance it out and make sure that people know like I am getting loads of rejections as well, because sometimes it seems like when you're looking at Twitter and everything, it's like, oh, everyone's having something accepted today, and it can just feel, crappy. So I just want to make sure people know, we're all getting rejected as well. Like a lot of people don't tell you, but we are.
So if you weren't writing, what would something you would do to express your creativity?
Well, I do a lot of different artistic stuff that kind of revolves around writing, like bleeds into writing. Like I've got a lot more into visual poetry and experimental stuff, concrete poetry. And I didn't know how to do any of this stuff before. Like I didn't know how to use like digital drawing programs, and now I have a drawing tablet and all this stuff, basically because I saw other people doing visual poetry and I thought, oh, I want to know how to do that. So I found out how to do that and started doing it. Yeah, so there's normally something going on in my head about how can I sort of attach writing to something else. So even like this past weekend, so I managed to write a poem, as I said, yay. But I also started like doing some stuff with textiles, because I saw online a bunch of different people have done like textile poetry, and textile like visual poems. So I really was interested in that. Like I want to start like weaving words together and yeah, going off down a little bit of a different tangent, just why not give it a try.
So Arden, that's so weird that you're saying this. On the 13th of March, I am going to it's like a working with textiles and wax on canvas, and you use words. It's exactly what you're talking about. So I'm making myself a ransom note out of these things. So I thought it would be fun to have a ransom note of my own calling for my release.
That's really awesome.
But yeah, you're talking about that. Like I'm actually doing that. I'm a physical person. I like to do things. So I think it'll be great to do something physically with the words, not just.
Yeah. I was really loving doing everything digitally for a long time because you don't have to find any storage. I know that's like not a particularly artistic thing to say, but it's practical, right? You don't have to find like, oh, I've made a million things and now they have no home in my house. But if you make them on digital, it's just all on the hard drive. Yay. But I think like many people over the past couple of years, screen fatigue, it's a killer. That's a creativity killer right there. Yeah.
There you go. Our illustrious editor, Tiffany, is getting some screen fatigue. She just found out she is doggedly working at the press. So, but it is a lot of work. It's funny you should say that. All right, last question. What is the most difficult part of your process?
I think Uh, I struggle a bit with time. Um, like I know if I could just use the little snippets of time available in the day that I could get something done, that these little pieces would build to become, a whole, but I don't. Even though I know that, I don't do it. I still have this thing that is completely untrue that, oh, if I don't have a chunk of at least an hour, or preferably 3, there's no point even starting. So I'm struggling with that at the moment, and I'm really like, I've got a post-it up next to my computer to say like, just do it, but it's, yeah, sorry about that. It's just not happening. I don't know why. So yeah, that's my main problem with the process at the moment. Hopefully I can find my way through it.
And then I have a little surprise question. But maybe these were all surprises, but this one is, what is something that you do in your life that makes you feel free?
Well, I'm very much a loner. I much prefer being by myself than being with other people, mainly because, as I've said, I struggle with people a lot of the time. So if I can be sort of by myself doing my own thing, preferably blasting music, no care in the world, then I feel pretty free at that point. And I'm really lucky that I do manage to make that happen at least a couple of times a week. It might not be doing the creative thing that I feel like I should be doing right now, but it will still be doing something. So yeah, I mean, I think it would be a kind of boring world if we were all the same, right? I think some people feel free when they're sort of off with their friends or they're partying or something, but for me, it's like, I'm good when everybody just leaves me alone.
I feel I think we all have a little bit of that. Like, I know I'm in my inner world a lot, and most people are. And sometimes we need to just stay in that inner world by ourselves without interruption. That's how I
yes, absolutely.
So would you like to tell us anything about stuff that you may be working on that you'd like to tell everyone that they can check out soon?
Sure. Yeah, I've got 2 more books coming out over the next 2 months. So one of them is called Drifting Bottles, that's coming out through Gutslot Press, and that one, it's sort of like all of my stuff is so hard to describe. I struggle with this as well. When people are like, "What do you do? What is this?" I'm like, "I don't know. It was fun." So the next thing that was fun, yeah, it's called Drifting Bottles, and it's a story. There's a narrative strain through it, but it's basically a collection of erasure poems and collage all together, with all different other bits and pieces of ephemera that relate to each part of the story. And this story follows 2 characters about how they're dealing with the aftermath of grief and reaching towards joy. So yeah, and each page is like very, very detailed. You can spend a lot of time with it and still not see like everything that I sort of stuck on there to bring it all together. So yeah, it was super fun to make. It made my apartment a complete disaster, but it was very fun. Yeah, so that one's coming out soon. And then a month after that, in April, is Stop Fidgeting. That's through Perth Underground Press. You like my titles?
Right now I'm fidgeting. Never stop. I love that. Yeah, I do love your titles. I have to say, I think the titles are great.
Thank you.
You don't want to judge a book by its cover, but it's nice when the cover beckons. So.
Oh, good. Yes. Oh, well, yeah, I designed, well, for all the books, actually. I designed all the covers for all the books as well. It was nice to get some art on there. But yeah, Stop Fidgeting is, it's a visual poetry collection, and each piece has like multiple layers of images and words. Again, quite hard to describe. And a lot of it is revolving around gendered objects and gendered clothes. So like, for example, if you see somebody wearing a short skirt, what are you going to think about that person? But what if it was somebody wearing a kilt instead? Are you going to think something different about that person? Okay, well now, what if it's a pink kilt? Does that make a difference? and just sort of getting through to the fact that all of this is actually completely ridiculous and arbitrary. And it's based on it's a piece of cloth, you know. So yeah, it's a collection of pieces that are all about that. So I think it's gonna resonate with a lot of people. So yeah, that one's coming in April.
Oh, that's exciting. Thank you so much for joining. I'm excited for that. Like I said, I think that it's been a new experience for me to do the visual poetry and the interactive stuff. I have never seen that before, never done it before. So when it's done well, it kind of blows your mind a little bit. It kind of shifts the paradigm. It's really cool.
Thank you. You know, that one that you liked is actually one of my favorites as well. Navigating, that was in Void Space Scene.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of those, you know, when the magic just happens. Like, you're all writers, you know, sometimes it's just something is just coming through your fingers and happening kind of without you. That was really one of those. And once I had the structure of the maze, finding the words to go in was the easiest thing in the world. And then when I read it back afterwards, I was like, whoa, you know, even like me, just like, wow, that's one of the best things I've ever done. Maybe I should do everything in a maze.
It's like you're going on the zine and you've noticed it's been viewed 4 times, but you know you view it 4 times, that kind of thing.
Yes.
Reading.
Yes, exactly. I'm just like, yes,
I do that all the time.
I give this 5 stars.
Exactly. When we first posted our thing, the blog, I read my piece about 52 times. I don't know why. I just kept going. I'm so proud of it. It's ridiculous.
I mean, no. I think we've got to be, you know, like, this is. I was talking to somebody else about this yesterday as well. Like, I think a lot of people especially in indie lit mags, getting their chapbooks published and everything, a lot of us have this first thought of, oh, I've got to be self-effacing, I've got to be humble, I've got to be shy, I can't say, oh, this is good, there is people that are so much better, who am I to say that this is good? You know, you're having all these thoughts, but then, like, nobody else is going to do this for you, right? Like, no one else is going to push it as hard as you are, so you might as well, because we all want the rest of the group to succeed. I hope. I do.
Yeah. Us too. I know we do as well. Well, Arden, we'll let you go, and we know it's late where you are. Thank you so much for joining us. It's been a real honor. Thank you.
Thank you. This was really fun. Thank you so much. Bye.